and welcome back to the Vintage Unicorn. My name is Emma, and today we are talking all about concealer. Different finishes, different formulas, different bases, oil, silicone. What are the differences? What are the uses you can do with it? All of the fun stuff about concealer. So today we are going to be talking about concealer, the history of the concealer, all the different things that concealer has done through the past years. I mean, concealer has come up recently. We have to admit that. So in this tutorial, I'm also going to be doing a cut crease, a cut eyebrow, and a cut lip to show that concealer is still something we use to kind of fix those little issues, those little errors, but there's so much more to it. Highlighting, accentuating features, contouring, you name it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment below if you would like to see anything else. And if you are not subscribed, please consider joining us on the arc. We have fun, we play with makeup, we talk about stuff, and it is just a good time over here. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you on this side of the video. Mwah. If you're wondering why I'm here looking like a damn ghost, it is because today we are talking all about concealer. I posted a poll on my Instagram, linked in the description below, asking which video would you guys most like to see. So I put in a lot of research to bring a bunch of information about concealer. I remember back in the day, concealer was this. It was a little stick you applied to areas where you were having like some breakout, etc., etc. I did some research to really figure this out. It looks like in about 2003, artists at MAC started utilizing concealers, generally silicone bases or oil bases, heavier, thicker formulas, for other purposes such as carving out brows, shaping wings, and that's where the concealer as a full kind of thing in itself really dawned. You know, as makeup has really developed over the years, we have so many products that are coming out, niche products that are just amazing. And back in the day, it was more like, okay, like Jeffree Star has said, he used white eyeshadow as a setting powder. I remember Benefit came out with a product in 2006. It was, I want to say 2006. It was something, it was like in a little dish like this, and it was a soft white, it was kind of like a translucent, but it was a little bit more, it had a little bit more opacity. It was a powder, and they suggested applying it on the inner corners of the brow line and above the Cupid's bow. Now today we all know that as highlighting, but at the time it was really revolutionary, and Benefit has a lot of products like that. They've always pumped out products kind of ahead of the curve. And another thing that they had was something called the Cupid's bow accentuator, where you would kind of fill in this area with like a little pencil. And we do that today, also still highlighting. Now, then something happened. Something funky happened around 2011, 2012, as far as my research can indicate, where people started baking. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about water and silicone bases. Now, right here I have one of my favorite primers, and I don't use primers, we'll get more into that. Now, looking at the ingredients, it is coconut, which is coconut juice, and glucose. Those are the first two ingredients. So is it silicone based or is it water based? Well, juice, it's a water base, you would think, and that's correct. The only real way to know, unless it's something that's pretty easily decipherable, is to add it to water. If it's an oil base, something like a cream concealer, then it's going to be like oil and water. It's going to break up, it's going to be kind of chunky in there, as opposed to something that's water based, something like, for example, the Glossier Skin Perfecting Tint. It's going to immerse itself within that water. That osmotic kind of water follows water reaction will take place, and you'll end up with a glass of water that's all one color instead of a bunch of chunks in it. Well, what is the difference? Why does it matter? Silicone-based products don't have actual silicone like the plastic in them. They have different silicone oils obtained from silicone or silica gel. And those are going to be generally vegan if they use silicone as a primary ingredient, unless they're adding other things. Silicone is used to avoid using animal oil. And animal oil is going to be highly comedogenic. It's an organic substance that our skin can recognize. It will clog our pores. Whereas silicone-based formula is generally on most skin types, on most skin types, I say that with a very big asterisk, most skin types, it's not going to be comedogenic. It's going to fill the pores without creating that kind of icky grease feel, because it's a manufactured oil. Imagine if you slathered your face with canola oil. It would feel horrible, right? But something about oil-based products, silicone-based products, today is heavenly. Using this NARS right here, it feels so nice. It is sitting on top of my skin, but it has also immersed itself into my skin. It's filled the pores and set a really nice foundation for me to apply product to. It is smooth, it has covered up some of the imperfections, scarring, maybe even some wrinkles, any of that kind of stuff, especially around the eye area. Now, water-based products are going to have a different benefit, and it really depends which way you want to go. Do you want to have something that's really refined and completely fills all the pores and leaves like a perfect airbrush finish, or do you want your skin to be hydrated and have something that permeates your skin, that barrier, and has an osmotic relationship with your skin where it can flow in and out of your skin? Water-based products, I didn't even realize I tend to lean towards, like the Glossier Skin Perfecting Tint. And this is true with concealers, foundations, primers, the lot of it. Anything water-based is going to, of course, evenly dissolve in water, so you have a solution. And also, using just a regular beauty blender, I can see by placing a dot on there, very quickly it starts to absorb. It starts to really kind of go away. So it has completely permeated that barrier because it's highly osmotic. However, taking something silicone-based like the Kat Von D foundation, which I love also, if I pour it on top next to it, as you can see, it is sitting on top. A small amount of product might be like driven into it while I'm blending, but no matter what, it's not going to fully permeate that barrier. It's going to sit on top. Now, on our skin, it's going to fill those pores, but it's not going to fully dissolve into our skin. And by dissolve, I don't mean that in a bad way. What I specifically mean is it's not going to transpose that layer. It's going to sit on top and create a really even layer through the pores. Whereas water bases are going to be more incorporated. They're going to feel a little nicer, or maybe even a little bit more natural. So right now I have two brows that are kind of a little wild. They're a little different. So I actually like this brow's front a little better. So I'm gonna just match this brow front. Yeah, I didn't like that feathering. It just doesn't go well with my face, if I'm honest. I don't like brow pencils either. I like pomade. Quick step, right? So what I want to do is I want to aim for symmetry. That's one of the things in makeup artistry and in makeup enthusiastry that we really aspire for. You know, we want some form of symmetry. That's something that makeup gives us, the ability to, you know, trick the eye into thinking that things are symmetrical, even if they maybe aren't. So I've done what I can with the brow product. Now it's time to switch over to my trusty concealer. I'm just gonna get a nice flat brush and I'm gonna pinch it. This is just a Luxie. This is a small shader brush. It's probably not for this, but I like using it. So I have flattened it to a really, really fine point, and I am going to dip into, let's use a really creamy product. I'm gonna dip into the Erase Paste by Benefit, also another oil base, and I'm just gonna get a slight bit on the tip of those bristles there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fix my little mistake. And I'm also gonna carve out that brow. That way I'll also be able to blend some of this ultra lightness that I have from using the very light concealer and bring a little bit more of a neutral tone. Now this isn't something that I wanna do very quickly because I don't wanna erase brow that I like. I also don't wanna use a ton of product because I don't wanna cake up my eyes. So I'm also gonna go around the front and really do that, try and rock out that carved brow, huh? Who doesn't like a really carved brow? This has a little bit of a pinky undertone. It's a little closer to my natural skin color than the super white, so this would be something I would lean more towards for correcting something like this, especially around the brows and around the lips. So I'm gonna continue and I'm gonna fix the other side as well, just kinda sharpen it up, especially in that arch. I love a super sharp defined arch. So I'm just gonna continue blending that, and then I'm gonna buff that out with a concealer brush. So my brows are nice and carved, right? I figured this wouldn't be a concealer video unless I did a cut crease. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a very light kind of cut crease. I'm gonna use the Shade and Light brush by Kat Von D, and I'm just gonna sweep a couple of colors in my crease and then cut that out so that I can apply a little bit of shimmer. Now using Kat Von D's Shade and Light palette right here, I'm gonna go in with this transition shade right here on the thicker part of the brush, and I'm going to just buff that into the crease line on both sides and then slowly amp up the color like we would when we were cutting a crease. Not gonna do a dramatic sunset eye or anything like that because I don't think it fully matches the austere attire. So I gradually built up using the colors in the palette, and I'm about to apply the black, but I was thinking, why do we utilize cut creases? Now, I know from a makeup artistry perspective, oh my gosh, have you seen some of the stuff that people can do where they like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. But underneath all of that, I really think that the reason for the cut crease is you can lift your crease. My natural socket falls right in here. Utilizing the cut crease, I've got a bigger socket. I'm drawing that depth to where I want it and really filling up that eye to the best of its potential. And that's one of my favorite things about a cut crease, where you have that beautiful wing built in. So I'm going to take the pencil edge of the Kat Von D Shade and Light brush and follow it very gently. I might even stipple to begin with along this gradient and then blend it through. I of course want it to be very dark near the bottom, and then I'm going to blend it out so that it's nice and neat. Alright, so using my NARS Creamy Matte, which is my all-time favorite concealer for cutting the crease, taking my concealer brush, and I just want to make sure that I get the entirety of this lid nice and coated, and then build up, because I'm going to be applying a shimmer in here. And that's another really cool thing for cut creases, is to apply two colors or two finishes that normally would not go together very well. This is where I'm going to begin to cut out my eye. Oh, that sounded horrible. Cut out the hollow of my eye, and this will determine the placement of my shadow. So to contour today, I picked up the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer, and this is in the shade CW07, so tan bronze. And I picked it up because it looked pretty ashy in the tube. It's a little bit warmer than I thought it would be, but it's a concealer. And instead of utilizing it, you know, because this is definitely not my skin tone, unfortunately, but I'm gonna draw little lines and then blend them in. So concealer is really, really versatile. I'm just gonna draw a little bit, do a little bit of drawing. I love using a doe foot applicator to apply concealer because you can get such precision out of it. Concealer is also a great highlighting device. Picking up a concealer in shades that are lighter than your skin, you can give that illusion of shape to the face. I love when I look like one of those, like, you know, pictures on the back of the contour palettes. I'm gonna blend this in. Picked up this Sonia Kashuk brush for like $3. It is awesome. It's like a veiling brush. I love it. To finish sculpting the face, I'm going to use this Kat Von D face shaping blush in Por Vida. And I'm just gonna add, this is a blush that I can get behind. Then I'm gonna line and lash and all that. And the final topic for our concealer discussion is going to be lips while I blend all of this stuff out. So to complement the cut crease, I did something I haven't done in a long time actually. I applied my lash liner by Kat Von D and a little bit of dagger liner, but I actually filled in my liner and actually blended it out using shadow, which is something I love doing. I just haven't done it in a long time. I have this like obsession with obviously Kat Von D liquid liner products. And then I tried these new lashes, which I am loving. They are by Ash Lash Vegan, and they come in the cutest little thing. But now I have to figure out how to re-tie it. Anyway, so the last thing that we're gonna do for concealer is lips. Sometimes I honestly think I stay away from lips because of my piercings, which is so unfortunate because I love my piercings. I really feel like they accentuate my lips and make them look larger, but it is difficult to apply certain products. Like I have this MAC lip gloss called 1 in a Million from the Aaliyah collection. I wore it today and it was just getting everywhere. It was getting stuck to my piercings. So there is a way to do it, and concealer plays a very big part in that. I apologize if my mirror is kind of in the way. I'm going to be attempting an ombre lip using Exorcism and Nosferatu from Kat Von D's Everlasting Liquid Lip. And honestly, I don't have a lot of confidence when it comes to lipstick. I've said before, I really think lips are the new eyes, and I would love to be getting into more lip art. The piercings are part of it. Another part is that fear of messing up. But I'm going to utilize concealer today to hopefully fix anything I destroy. So I am going to do the basic 1, 2, 3. So that's the 1, 2, and then the 3, and then I'm gonna draw around. Now that I have lined and began the beginning of an ombre lip, I'm gonna go in with a Morphe G15. I use this for concealer and lips, just happens to be clean right now, and I need something with precision. I can already see some areas that I have messed up, so I'm gonna go back in with the other concealer brush and clean it up. Now, to achieve the ombre lip, I like how it's looking right now with the light skin tone. I think the red is just gonna pump it up to that next level. I'm going to fill in the blanks and then really, really blend. So this is gonna take a while. I will be right back. Once again, coming in with that little Luxie brush and the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I'm gonna take just a little bit and line the lips. This will do a lot of things. First of all, it'll clean up my mess. It'll allow me to pull off the illusion of bigger lips, and it'll also really give me that integrated blended look without the torn apart mess that I have all over my lips. So I'm literally just gonna follow the path of my lips very carefully with limited product at a time. And even though I didn't mess up all over, I do want to give my entire lip a go around. Some places don't need to be as thick as others. This is also going to give me the opportunity to highlight my Cupid's bow, because I've got a milk mustache right now. I love it. I can even dig that Cupid's bow in deeper if I want to. Just continuing slow but steady, chiseling away. My lips are lined in that wonderful concealer. I'm gonna go in one more time with that concealer blending brush that I use from Real Technique. It's actually a crease brush, but I love it for the NARS concealer. And I'm just gonna blend that so that it disappears into the skin. Using a concealer that's a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone, the NARS Chantilly, especially around the lips, it gives that highlighting effect, so it looks like I've gotten a little bit of a lip raise here. I'm just gonna go in and clean up a little bit more so that I have that truly chiseled mouth. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long, but I wanted you guys to really see some of these processes from beginning to end, and I hope you guys consider maybe subscribing if you are not already. Following me on Instagram. I have all my info linked below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.